Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Moody Reel. This is where I review new movies, new TV shows, and new seasons of TV shows. But today, we're going back on Netflix. A surprise drop out of nowhere. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and then all of a sudden, on Netflix, it's the Cloverfield paradox. There are certain movies where I approach it in a very, well, I like to go into it completely blind, whether I've seen little clips here or images there, or I totally avoid the trailer completely. And this movie was pleasantly surprising, not because I was expecting to suck or, I was going to be disappointed or it wasn't going to be as good as the first two films. And if you haven't watched the first two Cloverfield movies of this franchise, I would suggest you go back and watch it, because the first two I actually liked. I was quite entertained by them, and I would actually recommend those films. So I was figuring, how could the Cloverfield paradox live up to the first two films? In all honesty, it wasn't a great film, but it is something that you would actually want to watch on Netflix, which I thought was a stroke of genius from the people at Paramount and Netflix. And as you don't know already, Paramount has had some financial troubles and their overall studio operations hasn't gone too well. So they are looking to sell certain things off or certain rights to certain films to somehow keep the studio afloat. And fortunately, Netflix came to the rescue because they knew what they were purchasing, or purchasing as in getting the rights to distribute and have it exclusively on Netflix so that the subscribers could watch and enjoy. And that's exactly what you're going to be getting out of this film. You will see plenty of familiar horror elements and thriller elements in this film. I actually enjoyed this movie over Alien Covenant. That's right. Sorry, Ridley Scott, you're one of my favorite directors, but I'm going to go with Cloverfield Paradox. I think this was a better film, even though, again, it wasn't a great film, but still entertaining and definitely recommended for a Netflix film. Now, I can't get into too many details or else it'll be a spoiler, really. But as a standalone film, just like the other films of the other two Cloverfield movies, they're separate. They're separate films. They come off as separate films, but there is still a connection between the three films. So to get a better understanding of the overall film and the overall connection between the three, you will have, I recommend that you watch the first two films and then watch this, just so you aren't completely confused. But again, I think this is thrilling enough. I think there is plenty of horror elements. I wouldn't say horror as in scare your pants off, make you pee in your pants, but just entertaining. Again, giving into that thrill factor in the movie, which I think it has been done quite well. The performances are also great. I think there were fantastic, solid performances. David Oyelowo and, of course, Gugu Mbatha-Raw, the ever so beautiful Gugu. Thank you so much. I did not know she was in this film, that she was part of the cast. So I went into it blind, completely surprised, pleasantly surprised, because she is one of my favorite actresses in Hollywood right now, in my top 5. So it was fantastic seeing her in the film. And again, you will see other familiar faces in this film. Very solid actors, great performances by everybody. But overall, definitely entertaining, definitely worth the watch. You'll love the thrilling part of it. It is different from the first two Cloverfield movies, Cloverfield, and you've got 10 Cloverfield Lane, and now Paradox. To wrap things up, I think it's wrap things up because it does leave a couple of unanswered questions in there, but you do get the reason behind the first two films. Again, this may not make any sense to you, because if you haven't seen the first two films, you may not understand what the paradox is all about. But again, without the connection between the three, you will still enjoy this movie. But if you are curious enough to watch the first two films, go watch that first. I highly recommend you do that before you watch Paradox. Without giving away any spoilers, basically this movie takes place before the first film. I think so. I'm assuming in the timeline, if I recollect correctly. And within this time period, the Earth, our entire planet, only really has 5 years, 5 years left to survive, because it's running out of energy and whatnot. So there are communities of different nations coming together, like NASA and so on, and as they all get together, they launch a space station called Shepherd, which helps them. Again, I don't want to get into spoilers, but you will know what the whole point behind this space station is about. It's about saving their world. It's about saving Earth. And there's a lot of mishaps in the movie, and you'll see a lot of twists, certain twists, not like M. Night Shyamalan twist, but you'll find out what the actual mission is and what these characters have to go through in order to save Earth. So if you've watched the first two Cloverfield movies, you will definitely enjoy this one. If you haven't watched the first two, I recommend that you go watch it, go back to it. But if you don't want to go back to it, you can watch this. Sure, it's something to watch on Netflix, but I think it would make sense and you will feel more complete if you watch the first two films. Well, guys, those were my very brief thoughts about Cloverfield Paradox. I enjoyed it. Thumbs up. Recommend it. Go watch it. It's on Netflix right now. A surprise Super Bowl Sunday, and sorry, Patriot fans, for you know, and Brady fans out there, you losing the Super Bowl. No, I'm not. Go Philly. Fly, Eagles, fly. And as always, you can find me anywhere and everywhere on social media and Moody Vintage, and follow me on the app Stardust to check out my reactions. And you can follow others as well. A lot of movie critics and celebs are on that thing. So check that out, download it, follow me there, and help me out, man. Help me out, because there's a link to this channel, and you can like and share and subscribe. All right? Until next time, guys, enjoy yourself in the movies. I'll catch you later here on The Moody Reel.